How's it going, everyone? Welcome back into another one of my videos. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to improve your FPS in Valorant. So Valorant has been on the rise lately, and at first to me, Valorant seemed really boring, so I got the game, but my thoughts quickly turned. The game has been extremely fun, and I've just been having a great time with it, and a better time than I've had with any other games in the past. Alright, so for this first step, what you guys want to do is go over to your Windows search and look for Restore Points. It'll look like this. Go ahead and click on it, and then you'll get this little window. What you guys want to do is go over to your local C system, and then you want to click on the configure. After you can click on the configure, you'll see a little screen that looks like this. You want to drag the slider anywhere from 4 to 10% depending on how much storage is on your computer. So I'm going to leave it at 5. Then you want to check the turn on system protection thing here at the top, and then click apply and OK. After you do that, click on the create and name it anything you want. In this case, I'm going to be naming it Valorant. After you name it something, go ahead and click on the create. What this is going to do is go ahead and back up everything you have in your computer, like the registry, all the settings and everything, just in case something goes wrong and you want to revert your PC to how it was before. So I strongly recommend doing this, even though you're confident that nothing's going to happen. You never know. And I've had countless people come up to me and tell me, yo, how do I revert everything? And I told them, yo, did you make the restore point? And they said no. So it's really important to make this restore point. I'm not playing around when I say this. So after it's made, just click close. And if you ever need to use it in the future, click on the system restore. Click on the choose a different restore point, click next, and look for the one that you want to use. In this case, I named mine Valorant, and you can even see the date and time it was created in. And then you would click next, and then you would click finish, and then you will see a blue screen. It'll say restore on your PC, and it could take anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. So just let that process load out. Alright, so now that we can actually start the optimizations, what you guys want to do is navigate over to your Windows settings by clicking on the start button and then going to settings. After you guys are in here, go over to the gaming, and then under game bar, turn that off unless you use it. Then on the left, go to game mode and make sure that's on. Sometimes game mode on could affect the performance on your computer, but usually it makes performance better when you're playing a game. But you can test it out on your own. Just go ahead and turn it off, launch Valorant, and check if you get more FPS with or without it on. After you guys figured out if you want it on or off, go over to the graphic settings on the right, and then what you guys want to do is click on the classic app and click browse. Once you guys click browse, go to this PC and locate wherever Valorant is installed to. I don't have it under local disk C, I have it in my hard drive. So what you guys want to do is open it up and then go to wherever you have Valorant installed. If you guys didn't mess with the directory, I'll leave it on screen what the default directory is. So after you find it, you'll see a game called Riot Games. Oh, my bad, you'll see a folder called Riot Games. After you do, go over to the Valorant, then go to live, and then go to shooter game, content, binaries, Win64, and then after you do this, you'll see this. Select it and then click add. It'll add Valorant, then go to the options and click high performance and click save. Then you want to click on the back again, and then you want to go over to the privacy. Under privacy, you want to toggle all of these off under the general. I recommend toggling these off under speech, inking and typing personalization, diagnostics and feedback. Go ahead and set it to basic, and then for the activity history, go ahead and uncheck both of these. After you've done so, scroll all the way down and go to background apps and toggle this off. After you've done all of this, I recommend also going over to the update and security and check if you're up to date. If you're up to date, it'll say you're up to date. If you're not, go ahead and install the updates. So for this next optimization, what you guys want to do is go over and go into your File Explorer. Once in your File Explorer, go to this PC, right click, and then go to Properties. Under Properties, go over to Advanced System Settings, and then go to Performance and click Settings. Then what you want to do is click Adjust for Best Performance, and then click on the Smooth Edges of Screen Fonts, and then click Show Thumbnails instead of Icons. Once you do that, click Apply and click OK. Then click OK again, and then exit out of this. Next, what you guys want to do is right click on any of your hard drives, and then click on where it says Properties. Under Properties, go to Tools, and then click on the Optimize. Under Optimize, only do this to hard drives, so if you only have SSDs, or you have an SSD, don't do it to an SSD. only do it to hard drives. So what you want to do is select a hard drive if you have one, and then click on the optimize. This could take a while depending on how many files you have on it and how fast that hard drive is. What this is going to do is just speed up the hard drive, and so we can make it run more efficiently. You can just let this run in the background while you follow the rest of the video. So next, this is for NVIDIA users only. If you guys have Intel or AMD, I'll be leaving screenshots of the settings you should have down in the description of the video. I'll have a link for it and you guys can download the screenshots. But anyways, for NVIDIA users, right click on your desktop and click on the NVIDIA control panel. This will take a little bit to load, so just let it load. After it loads, you'll see a window that looks like this. Go over to where it says adjust image settings with preview, and then click use my preference emphasizing, and then drag the slider to performance and click apply. After you do so, go over to the manage 3D settings, and then what you guys want to do is go over to the low latency mode, and if you have a good CPU, I recommend putting this to ultra. If you don't, just leave it off. But what this does is reduces input lag, so it'll make your game feel much better. So after that, scroll down and go where it says power management mode, and then click on it and put prefer maximum performance. Scroll down a little bit more and go to texture filtering and then quality, and then click on it and make sure it's on high performance. After you do so, go over to vertical sync and turn that off. What VSync does is it reduces the screen tears your screen has, but that can cause input lag and low FPS, so I recommend leaving it off if you play any games. After you do all this stuff, click apply at the bottom, and then you guys can just exit out of the application. So now what you guys want to do is go over to the link down in the description of the video to download the Valorant FPS Boost Pack by me, Expert. If this link doesn't work for you guys, I will leave a backup link there as well. So anyways, once here, just click on the green download button and you will see that it will begin to download. While that downloads, click the other link down in the description of the video, and it'll take you to WinRAR. So we're actually going to need this to unpack zip files, RAR files, any of those types, and this is actually probably going to help you in the future. So once here, you will see a 64-bit and a 32-bit. Depending on which bit system type you have is what version of WinRAR you're going to install. So if you don't know, go over to your file explorer, go to this PC, right click on it and go to properties. Then under system type or next to system type, it'll say what type of operating system you're on. So I'm on a 64-bit system, so I'm going to download the 64-bit. If you were on a 32-bit, obviously download the 32-bit. So click on the 64-bit, then you will see the exe file, open it up, click yes on the prompt that shows up, then click install. I recommend toggling everything here, and then clicking on OK, and then clicking on done. So then after you have WinRAR installed, go over to your downloads or wherever the FPS Boost Pack, and I recommend you drag it over to your desktop. Then once you have it, right click on it, and then click extract to Valorant FPS Boost Expert, and you will see the folder on your screen. So you will no longer need this one, you'll only need this one. Alright, so then double click to open, and then go to the optimizations. Alright, so what you guys are going to want to do once you're in here is go over to the Valorant priority folder, and for most of you, you're going to want to go to high priority, but some of you are obviously going to click on the above normal priority. So what this is going to do is it's just going to dedicate more resources from your PC into Valorant while it's open, but do keep in mind if you do click high or above normal priority, it will increase the CPU usage while you're playing Valorant. So that's just something to keep in mind. So I recommend going with the high priority, but you can also go with the above normal priority. So to use it, just go ahead and double click on it and then click on the yes prompt that shows up. Then you'll see this, click on yes and OK. And if you're not happy with the results with that, but you should get 15 to 30 or even more FPS boost just from let alone using this. But like I said, if you're not happy with the results, just go ahead and double click on the Valorant normal priority, and it will revert it back to how it was on default. So you guys finish this, go back over into the optimizations folder, and then go over to the performance commands. What you guys want to do is do the same thing we did with the other rec file, is just double click, click yes, yes, and OK, and do this for every single one. So once you get to the low to medium optimization, if you have a really crappy CPU, or a really old, outdated one, I recommend going with this one. Or if you have like a decent computer, I also recommend going with this one. But if you have like a really good computer, then go over to the medium to high optimization. So for me, I'm just going to be clicking on the low to medium, click yes on the prompt that shows up, then click yes and okay. After you do this, go to the performance tweaks and then click yes, yes, and okay. After you do this, I forgot to mention this, but the disable DVR1 and DVR2, some of you may be using the game bar for Windows, and if you guys disabled it, game bar will no longer work. If you guys want it to work again, go to the revert files and double click on both of the re-enable DVR1 and re-enable DVR2. And if you guys aren't happy with the results, go back into the revert files and revert everything. So after you guys have done this, go over to the ultimate performance command. This is going to open up. Once this opens up, copy the text that's right there by doing Control-C, or you can right click and click on the copy button, then exit out and type in CMD, click run as administrator, click a yes on the prompt that shows up, and then you'll get a screen that looks like this. What you want to do now is click Control-V, and it's going to paste that in, and then click enter. What this does is it's going to enable an ultimate performance power plan for your computer. What you want to do to actually enable it now is type here and then type in control panel. After you guys do this, go over to the system and security, click power options, and then look for the ultimate performance command that was added to the computer. After you do this, you can just exit out. You should see a performance increase with just let alone that. So going back over to the optimizations folder in the expert Valorant FPS boost pack, what you guys want to do is go ahead and open up the programs folder now, and under here what you guys want to do is go to the ISCL cleaner, and typically I recommend this if you have 8 GB of RAM or lower, but you can use this regardless. So to use this, double click on this, don't delete any of these files or else the app's not going to work. Double click on this little icon and then click on the yes prompt once it shows up. Then at the bottom right of your computer you will see that it opened up. Double click on it and then you'll see a window that looks like this. What you guys want to do is click on the stop, and then depending how much RAM you have here, you'll see total system memory. So you'll see a number here, and whatever number you see there, I'm going to divide that by 2 using a calculator, and then put that value in the free memory is lower than box, and put that value in here. And then once you put the value in there, click on the start. So once you guys have configured this, all you want to do is just minimize it and it will run in the background. So going back over to the programs folder, what you guys want to do is go over to the NVIDIA Profile Inspector DMW. So this is obviously only for NVIDIA. If you have AMD or integrated graphics, this is not even going to work for you. So just skip this part of the video. But this is a really useful application for you NVIDIA users, and you guys are going to benefit a lot from it. So what you guys want to do is go ahead and open up the NVIDIA Profile Inspector DMW. Once you guys double click it, at the top where it says profiles, click on it and it's going to highlight everything, then backspace and type in Valley, just like that. Click enter and your screen is going to change a little bit and it's just going to say valley.exe. Once it says that, what you guys want to do is click on these little plus. And then once you guys see this little plus, you want to look for wherever you have the Valorant shortcut installed on your computer. So I have the Valorant shortcut on my desktop, as you guys can see. So just look for wherever you have the Valorant shortcut. And what you guys want to do is just right click on it and then click open file location. Once you guys do this, click on the Riot Client Services.exe and then click open. You will notice that it added it here. Then you want to click on the plus again, and then what you guys want to do is click Riot Games at the top. Once you guys click Riot Games at the top, click Valorant, Live, and then add the Valorant.exe application by clicking on the open. You will notice it also added that to the top. Then what you guys want to do is click Add Application to Current Profile again, and then you should have this open from before. Go to Shooter Game, Binaries, Win64, and you'll see this Valorant Win64 shipping.exe. Click it and then click open, and you know you did it right if you see the exact same things that I do. Then what you guys want to do is scroll down and go over to the anti-aliasing, transparency, super sampling. Click on it and then click the drop down arrow and make sure you have it on AA mode, replay mode, all. So next what you guys want to do is scroll down a little and go to the texture filtering LOD bias DX. Click on the drop down, and what this is going to do is it's going to reduce the textures and how you see them in the game. So the higher you set this to, the worse the textures are going to look. This is going to help you a lot if you have a bad computer. So like I said, the more you up the value, the worse kind of your game is going to look. Just the textures though. Everything else in the game is going to look fine. The textures are just going to be like smoothed out. If you still like having that nice, crisp, good quality, especially if you do Valorant videos, then what I recommend you do is just add the plus 0.375. But if you don't really care, I recommend going with the +1 all the way up to maybe around +3. Anything above, it's just gonna make your game basically look like Roblox. So for me personally, I think I'm gonna be going with a plus 0.500. Experiment with this and keep it at whatever value works for you. When you guys have it at a value you guys want to keep it at, click apply changes at the top and then exit out of the application. Alright, so next what you guys want to do is go back into the programs folder again and then double click on the AdWord cleaner and then click yes on the prompt that shows up, and you will see something like this. What you want to do is click agree to the terms first and then click on the scan now. It's going to scan if you have any malicious files on your system, and if it does detect anything, you'll see here if it detects something. But I recommend really just running this just to make sure you don't have anything bad on your computer. If you do have anything malicious on your computer, it'll tell you what you have that's malicious on your computer. Just go ahead and check everything and then click on the quarantine button. Do keep in mind that all your tasks are going to be restarted when you do that. After you do that, it's going to ask you to restart your computer. You don't have to do that. You just have to right click on the window and then click close window. So then once you're done with the AdWord cleaner, double click on the CC setup, then click yes on the prompt that shows up. Alright, so once you click yes, click on the install button, click decline, and it will install it. Once it says CCleaner has been installed, click on the run cleaner, and you will see a window that looks like this. Go over to the custom clean, and over here it's going to delete all your internet history and a bunch of stuff. So I use Google Chrome. It's going to delete my history and everything like that, my download history. So if you want to save anything, go ahead and save it. If you don't, then don't. But anyways, then once you're here, click on the run cleaner and then click on the continue button. It's going to clean as many things as it can, and this is really good. It's going to free storage, and it's going to improve how fast your system is. So once it's done, go ahead and exit out and go over here to the taskbar. And what I've noticed is that CClear likes to stay open all the time, and personally that's a no-no for me, so just right click and click on exit. So only a couple more things to go. So for this next optimization, what we're going to be doing is going over to the Windows search and then typing in percentage, TEMP, percentage, and then click on the open on the folder that shows up. Most of you are going to have a bunch of files here, but I already cleared mine. But all of these are just unnecessary files, and to delete them, have to do is to do Control A, and it's going to select everything in that folder, and then right click on the stuff, and then click on delete. Some of the stuff in this folder can't be deleted, but you guys can just click on the do this for all current items, and then click on the skip. Some items will also require administrative approval to delete, but like I said, there's nothing important in here, so just go ahead and delete them. So next what you guys want to do is close out of this and then go to the search again and look for disk cleanup. Click on it, and then if you have multiple drives, select the drive you want to clean up. I recommend doing this on both drives, or if you have multiple drives, but start off with your C drive. Then after you select the C drive, click OK, and then click on the cleanup system files, click the C drive again, and click OK. It's going to scan everything that can be cleaned from your computer. So once here, just check all the things that you want to. So everything here is not important except for maybe your downloads or recycle bin. So if you have anything in your downloads that you want to keep, like uncheck the downloads, but everything else I recommend checking. So check the Windows Update cleanup, check on the Windows Defender antivirus, check on everything like I said except for the downloads. And if you have something in your recycle bin, then go ahead and store it and then proceed with this. So then, like I said, check everything except for your downloads. So after you select everything, click OK, and then click delete files. And if you selected the clean Windows update, it will take a while because usually the Windows update is like a couple gigabytes. It's nothing like big, but it's just like unnecessary stuff from the update. So then it'll say cleaning up drive. This will take a couple of minutes to do so, but your computer will feel faster after it's done. So once you guys have completed everything in the video, what you guys want to do is go over to the start button, click power, and restart your computer so all the changes kick in. After you restart your computer, I recommend launching Valorant to see the results and so we can go over some of the settings to apply. Alright, so once you guys are in Valorant, what you guys want to do is go over to your video settings. And under resolution, most of you are going to be under 1920 by 1080, but if you're struggling with FPS issues, go down to 1600 by 900 or 1280 by 720. After that, in display mode, make sure you're on full screen. If you're on anything else, it's just going to cause input lag and a loss of FPS. Next, you want to turn everything else off here so your FPS is always running at best as possible. And if you want to cap your FPS, go ahead and cap it here as well. Next, go over to the graphics quality at the top. And for low-end PCs, I recommend everything on low, VSync off, this thing, I don't know how to pronounce it, off, anti-aliasing none, this set to 1x, improved clarity off, enhanced gun skin visuals off, distortion off, and shadows off. So once you guys have all of that configured, you guys should be experiencing a much better gameplay, much smoother gameplay, and a much higher FPS count. I will be releasing a how to lower ping in Valorant video soon, so please stay tuned for that. But that's about it for me, guys. If you guys liked the video or if I helped you guys out a little, just please drop a like and possibly just consider subscribing. Thank you guys for viewing, and I'll see you guys in a different video. So I completely forgot to mention this, but before I was running 130 FPS max, and minimum I was running like 80 FPS, but after everything, as you guys can see, my FPS is hitting 290 and sometimes 300 on high settings. So as you guys can see, that's enough to prove that this video actually works.